Am I the a-hole for breaking up with my boyfriend because he wants sex? Throwaway account. I am going to make this as short as possible without leaving out the important details. I, a 29-year-old female, and my boyfriend, a 37-year-old male, have been together for 3 years now. I have 3 children from a previous relationship. At first, everything between us was great. He accepted my children, he treated me well, he moved in with me after only a few months. He'd help around the house and help with the children when he wasn't at work. We discussed marriage, and he brought up how he'd eventually want a child of his own. Yes, everything moved pretty quickly, but I have known his family for many years prior to us dating. For my birthday, just before our first year, he gave me a ring. It wasn't an engagement ring, but it was close enough. A few months later, I found out he cheated on me. We split up and he moved out. After some time had passed and many promises later, we got back together and he moved back in. For the past almost year, I have been feeling neglected. He no longer helps around the house unless we get into an argument about him not helping. He does the bare minimum when it comes to helping with the children. I work third shift, so naturally, he is the adult body in the house while they sleep. And he will watch them from time to time while I run to the store or do other errands and such. But as far as helping get them ready for school, doing homework, or correcting their behavior, he doesn't do any of that anymore. He also doesn't pay any attention to me anymore. All he seems interested in is sex. We no longer cuddle, we don't go on dates. A few weeks ago, I dyed my hair and he didn't notice. My sister says to give him a pass on that because it wasn't a drastic color change and because men don't notice subtle things like that. But he noticed the neighbor, male, got a haircut and complimented him on that. I stopped wearing my ring and he still didn't notice. I even got a tattoo. It's not a small one either. It takes up a good portion of my forearm and is very noticeable. I even tried to give him hints to notice the tattoo and did all I could but say, "Do you like the tattoo?" But it still went unseen by him. I brought it up to him, how I wasn't feeling noticed. I told him how I felt about where we stood and what attention I'd need from him. Such things as physical affection that is not sex, date nights, help around the house, notice when something about my appearance changes, just spend time with me and make me feel wanted. He fired back, "You don't want to have sex with me anymore." I explained to him that I work 12 to 13 hours a day, take care of 3 children, do all the housework, do all the cooking, and get ignored by him. So why would I want to have sex with him? His response was, "Sex is an important part of a relationship, and I need that." A few days ago, I was diagnosed with a severe case of bronchitis and wound up having an allergic reaction to prednisone. I broke out in hives and everything, and he was still upset I refused him sex. He claims that he still wants sex when he is sick, and something must be wrong with me for using being sick as an excuse to not want sex. I told him if he wants sex, then give me the things I need and show me he loves me and not my boyfriend. And then I'll give him sex. His response was no deal. "I'm not being rewarded like a puppy. I'm not your puppy. Accept it for what it is. I'm not changing. I am who I am." A few days ago, I was diagnosed with a severe case of bronchitis and wound up having an allergic reaction to prednisone. I broke out in hives and everything, and he was still upset I refused him sex. He claims that he still wants sex when he is sick and something must be wrong with me for using being sick as an excuse to not want sex. I told him if he wants sex, then give me the things I need and show me he loves me and not my boyfriend. And then I'll give him sex. His response was no deal. "I'm not being rewarded like a puppy. I'm not your puppy. Accept it for what it is. I'm not changing. I am who I am." Sex is an important part of a relationship, and I want someone who wants to have sex with me. I told him a few hours ago, since Tuesday is the end of the month, don't give me rent money or bill money. Unless you plan on taking me on dates, showing me more that you actually care about me, not just for sex, and plan on helping me around the house more. Because if you can't, then you can use that money to find a new place to stay. I need to feel wanted and loved, not just a hole for your stick to get wet. His response was, "So you're kicking me out if I don't change who I am? You're trying to force me to change." I shortened the conversations by a lot, but no matter what I said or how I said it, he only came back around to wanting sex and how I don't give him any. I don't know why, but I am now starting to feel like I am in the wrong and that my requests might be unreasonable. So am I the a-hole?